Hey guys, welcome back to some crypto. In today's content, we'll take a look at BTC on the monthly, on the weekly, on the 3D, and what type of price action we could be anticipating over the next like a couple of days going into May and all that good stuff, right? As you can see here, BTC broke out again above the monthly 21-EMA after the retest last week on the weekly basis with an engulfing bearish candle and all that good stuff. We'll talk about it and all that good stuff. Okay, so now when we take a look at BTC on the monthly time frame, we've been saying like the monthly time frame, it is extremely bullish ever since we got that 40% move back in January. Okay, so we said most of the time these big breakout on the monthly time frame, after you get them right, it could take like a 5 to 6 month or even 7 month depending on the volatility before we get another complete reversal. I'm not talking about like the 15-second charts and all that good stuff, but I'm talking about like a complete monthly or even quarterly resistance, right? So 40% move back in January, move sideways in February, broke out in March, moved slightly sideways in April, and now we finally get another breakout above the monthly 21-EMA. The monthly 21-EMA was our most important pivot point back in Q1, Q2 2022 after we moved sideways around it. As you can see right here back in January, if you guys recall, back in January, if you've been following our channel long enough, January 2022, we've been saying like the monthly 21-EMA 34k area going to be the support. If we push back up, got resistance at 41 and all that good stuff, right? It played out exactly, and we said if we close below the monthly 21-EMA, it will dump 50% or more, and it would basically signal the macro bottom, or at least a temporary bottom for another 3 to 6 months. Okay, sideways correction before another move back up to the monthly 21-EMA. Now we back up above the monthly 21-EMA, and we're not seeing yet any bearishness on the monthly time frame. All these, I mean, it is slightly bearish. It was slightly bearish on Kraken, but if we take a look at it on Coinbase, if we take a look at it on Coinbase, the cycle was not bearish. The February cycle was just undecided because we were getting a big resistance around the monthly 50 right here, just about like a 24-25k area, and most bulls been convinced like price action will we're going to retest the 25k and all that good stuff. It could have basically, but price action is so strong right now on a monthly basis. I just did not see bears controlling the trend back down to the 23 and engulfing the previous monthly cycle. Okay, so as you can see right here, 32k area going to be the most important key level, on the monthly, on the weekly, on the 3D, right? All of them, right? They got to basically synchronize and become weak so that price action can break out above the 32k area. Once we break out above the 32k area, the only other pivot point we have to the upside, it is going to be the 0.618 Fibonacci at 39 to 41k, right? If you do a swing high from 69 down to a swing low, just about like a 15.5, 0.618 going to be exact, guys, Leroy 38953.51. Okay, but it is going to be a range. It's not going to be a complete it is not going to be an exact number, so I wouldn't be looking for an exact number on a monthly basis, right? But I would say 39 to 41. We'll see when we're gonna get there, but it could be pretty pretty challenging since like it is almost May. We only got like 4 days, right, to go. So, and we know May tend to be the month of May tends to be a very challenging time for bulls, but we will see. If we close above the monthly 21, that could change everything, right? And at the same time, if we close the 3-week cycle bullish, that could signal like, hey, bulls going to be strong in May. Possibly, the first half, second half of May, they could be strong. But let's see on a 3-week cycle, if we close above 30, 30.5, give or take, right? because cycle opened just about like a 30.3. So if we close above 30.3, 30.5, give or take, the candle going to be a reversal candle, right? And we could be saying like, hey, from like a May 7th, because the next cycle will open on May 7th, right? It will close on May 6th, right? And by May 7th, after May 7th, right, up to May 28th, we could get another basically a bullish engulfing, I wouldn't say engulfing to the downside, but a bullish reversal back to the 3940K area, okay? So now let's take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So if we take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, our last update was about the weekly engulfing candle. And I said it, I was like, guys, don't fall for these weekly engulfing candles, right? Especially in a strong bullish uptrend, because we've seen it back in 2021 before the top right here. You know, we engulfed the first week, the second week of February 2021, right? We engulfed it, right, all the way down to 42 from like a 58K. That was a big move to the downside. But take a look at it, right? In 2 weeks, price action managed to go for a new all-time high and all that good stuff, all the way up to 61 to 63K area, right? So I wouldn't be too bearish just because we got, if you're a bear, okay, you can still be a bear because it is almost May, right? If you're a bear, like let's say from like a 15K all the way up to 30K, I mean, it is going to be pretty hard to flip bullish in May, right? Because we know, you know, between May and June, most likely BTC will see some sideways correction, boring phase, or even a big pullback, 30, 40, or even like a 50% pullback, depending on volatility. But we will see, because we don't know where the top going to be at. So it is going to be pretty hard to draw those fibs, because if the top going to be all the way up to 40K, you could be looking for like 50%, 0.618, you know, or even like a 0.786, depending on the volatility. But as of now, right, it is pretty hard to be drawing those fibs because we're not getting yet a complete reversal. I'm not talking about like a 5, 7, 8% move. I'm talking about like 25, 35, 40, 50% move to the downside, or even to the upside, right? Because just to get to 40K, we got another 30% move. And why I'm saying like we got another 30% move, because if we take a look at the PAXGBTC, the support for the PAXGBTC, it is all the way down to like a 0.045, okay, just by like a 5.5%, right? So just to get down to these low, that's another 30% move, okay? So if the PAXGBTC going to drop 30% to the downside, it means like BTC likely to drop 30% to the downside. And most bears been looking for the you know, head and shoulder pattern formation, just like that, right? But we got this move on the PAXGBTC, right? Big head, big shoulder, another big shoulder right here, 1-to-1 extension to the downside will take you, give or take, just about like a 4.5%. Right, so the PAXGBTC is not looking that juicy, and we've been talking about it like ever since, you know, we broke out below our support right here back in January. We were watching the PAXGBTC and the USDT dominance, right? So let's take a look at the USDT dominance, right? So if we take a look at the USDT dominance, what we're looking for, it is a move down to a 5.8%. So it is still getting rejected, just about like a 7.3 being a pivot point for the USDT dominance, okay? So all we've been saying over the last few weeks, it is nothing but a consolidation range for the USDT, right? Right, for the USDT, we've been consolidating since like late January between 6.5 up to basically 7.5. We did not close a candle above 7.5. So that's the range of consolidation. If we break out below it, we got 5.8%. Okay, I don't think we will retest the 4.5% that easy, but we'll just focus on the 5.8% just to get the double top, double bottom, and we will see if we're going to consolidate right here before dropping lower, or if we're just going to consolidate right here and basically retest the top, right? anything is possible in that range, but we will see. The most important point, or the most important percentage for the USDT dominance, going to be 5.8, and that could coincide with BTC going up to 40k possibly. Okay, however, if it breaks above 7.5, that could be that could be pretty bearish for BTC, and most likely bear is going to be selling into USDT, and the USDT dominance going to be pushing to the upside. But as of now, we'll just keep on monitoring the USDT dominance, the PAXGBTC, and all that good stuff, right? So let's go back to the BTC price action really quickly to check out the head and shoulder pattern formation. But I think like bears will get a big long arm up to 40k, right? So I think what bears been anticipating was like a right shoulder right here, right? Already got the left shoulder. If you watch my analysis, I said it before even like the weekly started to engulf, right? I was like, if we get a weekly engulfing candle, bear is gonna start to draw this pattern, right? Big shoulder, right? Big left shoulder, big head right there, right? And they're going to be looking for this move, right? It is still possible to get it, but if we take a look at the monthly time frame, you can see like the monthly is extremely volatile, and the volatility on the monthly, it is not to the downside, it is likely to be to the upside, especially if we close above 29k before if we close above 29k, right, for April, that's going to be extremely bullish going into May. Even though I've been saying it, May is not a good month, but the way we're closing the way we're closing March going to matter, right, for the month of May and all that good stuff, right? But once again, I'm not expecting 50k, 60k, and all that good stuff. Could we get it? That's possible. Anything is possible. But the probability for BTC going up to like a 50k, 60k, 70k this summer is very low, right? So something to keep in mind regarding the macro. I'm not talking about like BTC dropping 2%, 3%, and all that good stuff. But we're talking about like a complete macro reversal for like for at least like 1/3 or like a 2/3 of the summer. Okay, could possibly be anything between 3 to 4 months, right? And all that good stuff, right? Or 2/3 of the second half, right? All right guys, I'm just going to keep it short and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot for watching.